I recently embarked on an inner journey. I went on a 10-day silent Vipassana meditation retreat. Before I left, I was telling my best friend how funny it is that it's so hard for us humans to do nothing. Completing this retreat and looking back, I see that meditating is quite the opposite of doing nothing. Between quieting the mind and sitting for hours every day, there's so much work being done. On top of that, the inner work of healing, of allowing the space for things to come up and be observed objectively, so that as all things in life, they may pass away. I learned how to observe sensations in every part of my body without reacting. I was reminded that everything in nature that arises must also pass away. We seem to struggle greatly with that reality. This practice has given me the tools to accept reality exactly as it is, to be aware that everything in life is constantly changing. The first 3 days of this journey were 3 of the hardest days of my life. I missed my little family, my home. My body ached, and I practiced observing the sensations around my nose for about 7 hours a day. This practice is called Anapana meditation. I thought I was crazy for bringing myself to this place. Why was I here? I just wanted to go back home. But the teacher Goenka explained it as a surgery of the mind. He said, when someone goes into surgery, they don't leave halfway through. It's not safe. My mental surgery had begun. This practice of observing the sensations around my nose was increasing my mental focus and was beginning to bring old sankharas, mental conditionings, to the surface. I was learning how to observe without craving pleasant sensations or averting the negative ones. Halfway through day 4, we finally practiced Vipassana for the first time. The work of Anapana made it much easier to fully be aware of the sensations in each individual part of my body. For 2 hours, we practiced moving our attention from the top of the head to the tips of the toes, observing the tinglings, numbness, tickles, heat, coolness, any and all sensations occurring and changing throughout the body. When the meditation was over, I sat there crying, feeling completely in bliss. I can't put into words the experience I felt. My body was vibrating from head to toe. The sensation was so pleasant, yet as the practice teaches, I knew I could not attach to the feelings, as it would eventually pass. I did enjoy the reality of that moment for as long as I could. I went outside to a surprisingly clear sunset sky. The mountains stood bold and beautiful. The colors seemed bright and vivid. I stood there and cried, enjoying the bliss and peace that I felt. Soon after, we had to go back in and meditate again and again for the rest of the days there. More sankharas rose to the surface and passed away. The following days were still hard, but somehow more enjoyable. I worked even harder, taking less naps and meditating more, fully aware that this escape from the noise of the world would soon come to an end. On the 10th day, we ended the noble silence. The space quickly filled with loud chatter of everyone sharing and comparing their experiences, telling each other stories of dreams, meditations, and observations that occurred over the past 10 days. Faces beamed with smiles and light. It was so beautiful to experience the humanity of these people whom we had walked by, sat with, shared meals and tea next to in complete silence. That day, when returning to meditate, we also learned the practice of metta, loving kindness meditation. All of the hard work, the mental surgery, was closed up with a beautiful practice of love, sharing the peace with all beings. Once again, I shed many more tears, tears of joy, tears of love, tears of peace. before returning home to my loved ones and really beginning my work.